Okay, so, when you're working on code, maybe with a team, or even just looking back at your own stuff from months ago,
Oh, yeah.
keeping it all consistent, clean, it feels like a nightmare sometimes, right? Everyone has their own little quirks, ways they format things.
Totally. It's a huge challenge. You go from just making it work to making it, readable and something others can actually maintain.
And doing code reviews for style stuff manually,
Yeah.
it takes forever, and it's so subjective.
Right. It's tedious. Did you mean to use tabs here instead of spaces? Nobody wants those conversations.
Exactly. Which is where these really essential tools come in. They've kind of changed the game for developers working together.
You mean linters and formatters?
Yeah, exactly. We're going to dive into those. They're not just optional extras anymore. They're like standard practice now.
Definitely. Think of them as your automated helpers. One checks for quality and potential bugs. The other keeps the style consistent, takes the guesswork out.
Okay, let's break that down. First up, linters. Something like ESLint is a big one, right? What's a linter actually doing?
So a linter does what's called static analysis. Basically, it reads your code without running it,
Right.
like a super diligent proofreader, scanning for potential bugs, style issues based on rules you set up, and importantly, things called anti-patterns.
Anti-patterns. What's that mean?
Well, there are common ways of coding that might technically work, but they're generally bad practice. They can cause problems later, make code hard to read, stuff like that. Linters catch those.
So it finds errors before you even try to run the code. That sounds incredibly useful.
Huge time saver. Yeah. And beyond just bugs, they really help with readability, making sure everyone uses the same quotes, semicolons, naming style.
Consistency.
Exactly. It lowers the mental effort needed to understand the code. Plus, they enforce best practices. Great for new devs learning the ropes and for keeping large projects sane. Some even flag potential performance issues.
Okay, give me a simple example. What's a rule a linter won't catch?
Oh, a classic one is like, you declare a variable but then never actually use it anywhere.
Right. Dead code.
Yep.
Yeah.
The linter says, hey, you probably don't need this. Or, in JavaScript, making sure you use instead of a quote to avoid weird type issues, it guides you towards safer code.
Got it. So linters are about quality, bugs, best practices. Now, what about formatters? Like prettier. How are they different?
Formatters have a much tighter focus. They are purely about the look of the code, the aesthetics.
Uh-huh.
Their only job is to automatically reformat your code to match a specific style guide. Indentation, spacing, where the brackets go, line breaks, all that visual stuff.
So they don't care if the code actually works or has bugs.
Nope, not at all. That's the key difference. A formatter just cares if it looks right according to the rules. It leaves the logic checks to the linter.
Okay. And the big win there is just consistency.
Yeah, immediate visual consistency across the board. It sounds small, but believe me, when everyone's code looks the same, it's so much easier to read and collaborate.
Takes away those pointless style debates in code reviews.
Exactly. No more arguing about tabs versus spaces. The tool just handles it. Teams save a surprising amount of time by automating that. You focus on what the code does.
So it really sounds like you use these tools together then.
Oh, absolutely. Almost always. They're a power duo. You set them up so the linter focuses on the quality and potential errors, and the formatter handles all the style rules. Sometimes the linter even tells the formatter what to do for certain style aspects. It's a really synergistic setup. Quality and consistency. It's just how professional teams work now.
Right. So for you listening, maybe you're just starting out, or maybe you're looking to get better. Why is using these tools so important?
Well, starting with them builds good habits right away. You learn to write cleaner, professional code that follows standard practices.
Makes it easier to join a team or contribute to open source too, I bet.
For sure. You're already speaking the same language in terms of style and quality checks, and honestly, they just automate the boring stuff.
Yeah, and catching those little things early, a potential bug from the linter, a formatting mess fixed by the formatter, must save tons of time debugging later, right?
Definitely. It makes you faster, more efficient. It's a really critical step towards becoming, an expert developer.
Frees up your brain power.
Totally. Instead of sweating the small stuff like formatting, you trust the tools. That lets you focus your energy on the really hard creative problems, the human part of coding.
Which leads to kind of an interesting final thought for you to chew on.
Yeah.
If we lean more on automation for consistency and catching common errors, how does that change what we think of as the craft of coding?
Yeah. What skills become more valuable because the basics are handled? What's left that's uniquely human? Something to think about.